Thank you. So overrated. Well, first I want to thank Ms. Ho, who gave me a great opportunity. President of the associate, and she invited me here, and so it's my first opportunity to meet everyone here, although I have so many old friends here. The AI, interesting that people doing AI many years ago, and so I remember when I was in the school, University of Maryland, learning the AI course, the professor comes and says, I gave you guys to see a movie. And so 30 years after that, the word will become this. But now it's 30 years past, I haven't said it yet. so it's a great field that everyone likes to get in, and it's an interesting field. And so I don't know everyone's background, and I also don't know what I should focus on that represent everyone's interest. But since I come to talk about entrepreneurship, I think I start from the beginning. So if we talk about launch your AI startup, so first thing we're thinking about is what I'm going to do. So first we want to answer a question that, what can you do in the field of AI? And of course, many of them who already started, already success, may not have these questions, but many of them who has not started or thinking about to start, and it does have this question. So the answer is simple: everything. And whatever you dream of, you might dream of doing something for the elders, and you might dream of to make some medicine that cures something, or simply make people live forever. And 2,000 years ago, China, our first empire, want to do that. So he's thinking about AI and never get it there. So everything you dream of, and or if you don't have something to dream about, and so whatever you're passionate about, you just love to do something. And if you don't have that, then you think about whatever you have a responsibility for. And you have to do it. And sometimes your father asks you to do something, and next you have to do it. If you don't have that, then whatever you desire money and from. So not desire money is different from just want to make some money. And extremely desiring for money is like you need money. You die for it. That kind of. So these are the four mission-oriented startups. So if your startups because you dream of something or you're passionate about, or you have responsibility for, or you need a lot of money. These are 4 mission-oriented startups. So, we have seen a lot of seminars, a lot of things happening in the world, and so especially if you go to investors, they ask you is your idea disruptive, and investors are more interested in the ideas that are disruptive. So the question is that, okay, I want to start. Does the idea has to be disruptive? No, not at all. And so anything you want to start up, it does not have to be disruptive. And so it does not have to be completely new. And it does not have to be new people has been doing. Okay. You can do same thing. And one thing you have to make sure you want to be good at it. If you have something in your mind and you're good at it, do it. And do not worry about it has to be new, has to be, new people is doing. And if you have something that you're doing, new people has been doing it, I can guarantee you after 6 months, and you tell people that's what you're doing, yeah, you got other people doing it. So if you don't want to tell people what you're doing, then you don't end up selling your ideas. So that's great to see that a lot of people think, well, I want to start, I just don't know what to do. And everything I'm thinking of, I'm good at, every people else has been doing. 30 years ago, I started my first company, and I'm thinking about, it's not because I have a dream, it's not because I am passionate about something, and it's not because responsibilities, it's just because I was so poor at that time, and I needed money. So I'm thinking about what am I going to do? So everything I'm thinking to do, every people is doing. So I end up saying, well, why don't I just do what I'm good at? So what I'm good at, I was in the University of Maryland doing my PhD, and so I'm thinking, well, I'm doing neural network, I'm doing expert system, I'm doing inference engine, but these are far away. How about document imaging? That is the stuff, the field I apply these technologies to. So I said, oh, okay, well, I start a company doing document imaging. And so I did. And 3 years ago, I sold the company to .com. That was a great first my company. So then I stayed home for a year and watched TV. Well, there is not that many TVs you can watch. After a while, everything you feel dying. Sit at home, you got fatter. So, well, I need to do something else. So, well, what I'm going to do? And because I cannot develop imaging software anymore because I have non-disclosure and I have several years to go. So I think, well, I'm doing what I'm good at. So document the image. But I cannot develop the software. So I thought about, well, but can I use this software to do imaging? Okay. So I did that to start a service for government. Everyone is doing imaging, scanning. So what? I'm doing my own. And I got some success and break into a HUD and doing scanning for them, doing imaging, and then I expanded to the AI, developed my inference engine for Social Security Administration. It was very successful. And I sold that company, and my third one is that I think about, well, should I start again? Yeah, well, I start again. And so what I'm going to do this time. So you have to watch. And if you, every time you want to do something disruptive, no people is doing, you're not going to get anywhere. And so I encourage everyone and start up with the idea that you're good at, and no matter what. And okay, so we want to talk a little bit about current hot topics in the AI, at least, give some scope. People you can think about. If you really have to think about, well, I want to work on AI, I want to do some current hot topics, what are they? Well, you can download White House document, an American's AI action plan, and so the American AI action plan actually already summarized really well for you what are hot topics in at least the USA. And USA is the #1 AI leaders. And if you don't want to read that 28 pages, you just read the table of contents. It just says everything clearly there. So pick up the one that you love to do and you feel like to do, and just do it. So anything helps. So they summarize into 3 major fields. So anything you can think of helps to accelerate AI innovation and to help build American infrastructure. Infrastructure is very important for Americans, and export American AI to other people. Anything you can do to help that will be very hot, and you can instantly sell to any government agency, and no question about it. So 28 pages, and if you don't have time, look into table of contents and give some thoughts. Do the stuff you're good at. So then a lot of people ask me, okay, what's your most interest? I'm of course most interested in what I'm good at. Inference engine. So the inference engine is very, very important, and in the future. And today's AI, most of them are computational AI, and you transfer what they call good data into numbers, and that most of the time it's already lost the original meaning, and then from that transform the data, and they calculate it. So the different inference engine will be very, very interesting in the future. So we can think about it. We go to school and how many people learn in this school, learn all the knowledges because the teacher present you thousands of cars, tell you this is a car. They don't do that. They tell you fundamental things like the car has wheels, have those kind of structures. And then you learn that, and immediately, and you walk to the street, it comes different car, you tell your parents, well, this is a car. So that's how we learn. So the inference engine is very important. And the intelligent compiler and interpreter is to me, it's very, very important. And traditionally, the Chinese, I speak Chinese, so traditionally our Chinese brain, it doesn't work this way. So we did not invent a compiler and interpreter, and because we born with a different logic. So this is very, very important because you can think about the compilers, interpreter are actually trying to understand what you're doing and in their way. So that's very interesting to me because these days the AI generated something, generated some movies. We think, oh, this AI generated these pictures. Great. So different people will interpret differently what the picture, mean. But have we asked the question, does the computer knows what the computer generated, what it generated? This is the question. Most of the time they don't know. And they generated something, even language. You go to Google and let them write something to you. Does Google really understand what they wrote? And they wrote it to you, you read, I said, well, now it's great. But does the computer knows? It may not know. So there are another very hot field is AI zero trust. So this is very important for the future, for the security. And remember, a lot of concept comes from West mind, like cloud, like big data. They started talking about this, and then becomes something really people are doing, So the cloud, people talk about 20 years ago, but now it become real stuff. So this AI zero trust is something like that. They're talking, it become something like that. So these are important. If you're really looking for something disruptive, these are good fields to be disruptive. So, okay, I think I get enough. And if you want to do something in the AI, and these are the good things to think about and apply what you love to do. And with the AI, you got a great idea to start. So now we're talking about the guts to get started. A lot of people has beautiful ideas. So I love to talk to the young people, and I have lunch today, sit with 3 young people. Yeah, they're talking. So they're not talking to me, but I hear what they're talking. They're trying to do something. These guys are really, this is great stuff. Don't let their lives, dry up. So now. And people talk to me and said, oh yeah, well, I have a great idea, but I just couldn't get started because I'm not good on technology, I'm not good on this, that. Well, so we don't have to be smarter than the rest. We just have to be more disciplined. Discipline means, you're good at what you do. and you're better than others, or even if you're not better than others, you're just good at it. You know, you did it, the other guy didn't do it. You know, it makes a difference. So, so now let's talk about to be successful. You know, you want to be an ethical leader. Ethical leader is very important. And now it's a course. So but the people say, well, what do you mean by that? It means a lot. So however, you just do what you say, and you say what you do, and you're already very ethical. And now I used to mentor a lot of people. They all get a success. So I cannot explain to you what's an ethical leader, but I tell them that you know, do what I tell you to do, and you have to get it. And as long as you get there legally, and I don't care how you did it, you get there legally and under regulations, and you're good. And then plus, you do what you say, you say what you do. You're responsible. You're ethical leader. And now, this is very important. You know, just be an ethical leader is not enough. You have to be a strong implementator. So that means, you know, you promise something, and then you can perform what you promised. That's very important. We have a lot of people who fail because they have beautiful ideas, they have beautiful promises, but 5 years comes, nothing happens. That's not good. That doesn't mean you can implement it. So, and then you have to be a value deliverer. Value delivery. The Steve Jobs said, well, you know, the customer does not measure you, you know, how hard you tried, they measure you what you deliver. So that's very important. The value delivery is very important. You develop a product, you deliver to people, that does not necessarily mean you deliver the value. The value that people appreciate is something extra. It's called value. Okay. So if I build you something, it costs me $10, I mark it up, so sell you $15, and you got that stuff, and people may not get the value; they just get what you pay. But if my staff does everything so good, save their time, save their life in certain way, and so they value it more than they paid. So that's the value delivery. So now it's important you be a high trust entrepreneur. So if you be an ethical leader, strong implementer, and a value deliverer, then you become a high trust entrepreneur. So now let's talk about zero financing. When we talk about zero financing, I didn't mean we don't have to spend any money. Okay? You know, so we're talking about outside financing, okay? And so you don't have to always have outside financing to get to start up and be success. I have been success on every startups. I never had outside financing. And even, you know, some companies I did, and growing into 400, 500 people. I never had outside financing. So you know, when we start up, and it's very important that you need to focus your time on what you're going to build. So especially for like our Chinese, we're not that good to fit the culture and here. And I saw many of my Chinese friends, they speak everyday Chinese. They have all the friends Chinese. They go to all the event Chinese. Well, you have to go back home and think about it. Are you startup in USA or you're startup in China? Okay. But I didn't mean, you know, I try to deliver a thinking here is that even though sometimes like myself, I'm not born here, so I have boundary to go out social with native born people here. And so, you know, chasing investors requires a lot of time. And you're going to have endless deck writing. And no matter how much you're writing, and they don't want to hear. And you waste the time, people comes to train you how to speak. And you're not born here. It's tough to get to that level. And it's like something I want to say, and I'm home, try to practice. My daughter comes and says, "Oh, this is ideal." So this is waste a lot of time, and so we don't want to. Because of that, we cannot start it. So if you become a high trust entrepreneur, and you have characteristics of these three things, and you attract a lot of resources. Okay, you will attract a lot of resources. So a lot of resources fly to you. If you're that kind of person, you have something built up. And a lot of time they're free of charge. Free of charge. And for example, like I started my first company, and I had to buy a scanner that Kodak made, $90,000 that time. And there's no way I can buy that. But because I'm a high trust entrepreneurship, and Kodak shipped one to me, free of charge. And I used that all years and make it a success. I did not pay that. And so most of us cannot imagine how many resources are available there. And so I always talk to people, well, you want to start, you can start with a good content. And my first startup, I drove from Virginia to Maryland, asked a content provider, Li Xing, people know Li Xing. So I started with him, and he's a content. And I started my second one with a lady called Zhao Meiming. Yeah, and then my third one, of course, I started with a company that divided from Price Waterhouse. So, and now I'm working with the content. What is their name? I forgot their name. So the content are very good. They help you start, explain everything. And of course, some of them are expensive, and some of them I met they're old timer. So I recently find a new company, Chinese. It's called AAIAGW and Accounting Group. And I think that these guys started with it's a woman business. Started with a few people. It's good people. Of course, I'm not associated with them. I'm not affiliated with them at all. So you know, you can try call them, see how that if they can help. Because I remember first company I spent $50 with accountant Li Xing. But he explained to me everything and made everything I my mind straight out. So it's a good practice to do that. Now I think up to now, I think you got ideas and how to get your ideas started. And of course, startup is not enough. You have to survive growing your startup. And today we don't have time to do that. But I have a book here and certainly available. You can read if you have questions. I'm happy to help you explain. So I hope everyone's dream can become true. And